Yo, what's up and welcome to GodMade. Today I'm going to go through all of the updates that YouTube just put out this last week. There are so many updates, but I'm going to tell you what the most important ones are and some that will completely change the way that you do YouTube overall. Let's jump into it. If you're new to GodMade, we're all about helping Christian creators to rise above and become the creators that God wants you to be. That includes building your business, building your YouTube channel, and showing you exactly how to do that, equipping you along the way. This is one of those videos where we're going to go through a lot of deep divey stuff in order to really understand what the future of YouTube is going to look like. There's going to be a lot that changes when it comes to AI and live streaming and podcasting and a bunch of different stuff within that. And so I really want to deep dive into these updates to let you know what this means for the future of the platform and how you can use these tools in order to succeed in the future. So let's just jump in. First things first, right here, we're going to start with 4 different sections, basically. We're going to start here with AI on Shorts, which basically is a large portion of what they're talking about here, at least for the beginning. Then we're going to jump into YouTube Studio and a lot of new tools that you can use within that. Then we're going to jump into live streaming, then podcasting and music, and then we're going to end with monetization and shopping, which is quite interesting, especially if you're already an established YouTuber. So first off, like I said, let's start with AI with Shorts. So they're going to add VO3, which of course is a Google product. This is basically Google Gemini's video maker when it comes to AI. And so VO3 is going to be integrated into YouTube, which is a huge deal. I mean, this is going to change the game for a lot of different things. I think it's going to create a lot of AI slop, but it's also going to give the opportunity for really creative people to come out with things that we've never seen before. You can see some of the examples that they're having here of a monkey on a street singing a song, different things like that. And so you're seeing these prompts go up and you can make a video from VO3 and add it to your, your content creation kind of style if you wanted to do that. Now, like I said, I think this is going to create a lot of AI slop. I think you're going to have to be very smart with this if you want to use this in a proper way. So that is update number 1. I'm not sure what I think about this 100%. I'm not a huge Shorts guy personally. I focus a lot more on very long form stuff, but that is the way that it is. The next one is actually including you. And so it's using AI to actually move you as a person. So what you can do is you can upload a picture of yourself. And then what AI will do is it'll take your limbs and your body parts and your clothing, and it will basically add motion to it depending on what motion you choose, whether it's a dance or a fight or karate or whatever it is, right? You can kind of choreograph your body to do those things without having to learn a new dance or to do these different things. I know it probably looks kind of cruddy right now, probably looks kind of cheesy right now, but I guarantee you that in a couple of years, it will be indistinguishable from a normal thing, right? Again, this is one of the things that I worry about when it comes to AI. When do we just stop creating content and start just putting in sentences into the YouTube app in order to make things, right? I think it's important that we continue to make things, and our soul does go through these videos, right? Especially as Christians, this is an important thing that we're looking at here. Now, as we continue on, we have this section right here, first draft with a tap. And so you can see here that you can add a bunch of different photos all together, and then it will create a video for you. This is kind of cool if you're just wanting to put up a quick video of a vacation or whatever else, and it'll edit these videos together for you in order to make something that is just quick and easy. Again, we'll see what happens with that altogether. Next up, we got turning everyday videos into catchy soundtracks. So we have this here, speech to song. So you can pick a short or pick a certain video that you have, and you can change it into a song, which is going to add that song to your track here.
Almost cuffing season, isn't it almost cuffing season? I know you're looking.
So there you go. You can add your own AI song. Depends on where they're getting the generative kind of set list, the library behind the scenes of the AI, where they're getting that information from. Obviously, they're probably doing it in a legit way, but we'll have to see in the future to see if there's going to be some issues in terms of copyright with all that kind of stuff. My guess is that no. It looks like here they're using Lyra 2 as basically the music model here. Music AI is pretty bad at the moment. I'd say it's pretty easy to tell when music is AI, but that is the way that it is right now. So that's it for AI Shorts. We are getting those things in here. This is probably what I'm least excited about when it comes to all of these updates. There are things that are way more exciting for me that I think are going to be really great for future creators. Next, let's jump into YouTube Studio. This is one of the biggest updates, and I think one of the most important updates that we're getting throughout all of these things. Ask Studio. This is an AI that's going to be integrated into your studio in order to give you access to all of your information and allow you to see all of your data in a new way, right? Aggregate it in a new way. You can use ChatGPT for this right now, but it's kind of hard to get all of your data into ChatGPT in a way that it understands it. If this works the way that they're promising that it will work, in the future, in a few months, whenever this comes out, right, we should be able to just ask Studio behind the scenes, YouTube Studio, what any data that we want to know, right? What is my demographic? What is that looking like? How do I help my audience see my videos in a better way for my demographic, right? It's also going to be able to look at intricate details, for example, your retention graphs or your engagement or your click-through rate or your average views per viewer, right? There's a bunch of different statistics that I would look at, a bunch of different analytics that I would look at behind the scenes that are going to be incredibly important. If you know how to use this in the future, I think Ask Studio could be a major game changer, especially for new creators and especially for creators that feel a little bit stagnant at the moment. You're feeling like you're missing the mark when it comes to your audience. This could help you figure out those things in an amazing way. Do I think you still need to learn how to use analytics and look at those analytics for the correct numbers, whether that's your AVD or your AVP or your CTR or whatever else it is, right? To gauge your engagement and your demographic and everything else. Yes, I do think that. I do think that you need to know how to do that. But having this as a tool in order to really dig deep into some kind of far in analytics would really help you and to aggregate several things at once that sometimes are harder to get an understanding of when you're looking at the advanced tab, for example, in Ask Studio. This could be a huge game changer for sure. Now, the inspiration tab has been around for quite a while. This is nothing that's extremely new, but they're trying to make it better and better and better. Yeah, it's okay. I have never really gotten a great idea from the inspiration tab. I do not think that it's there yet. But eventually it'll be very good because people won't be able to get the same data that you have from the inspiration tab, right? So YouTube could potentially give you unique ideas that will work on YouTube. And as AI gets better, as these models get better, it'll give you better and better ideas. I just don't think it's quite there yet. So we'll see in a year or so if that changes. Next is a huge one. I have this on my channel. It's actually one of these only updates that has updated for my channel personally. And I've been waiting for this for a long time. I love A/B testing thumbnails. We didn't have that for the longest time. You used to have to use a third-party tool in order to do that and pay for it every single month. Now it's in the app for free. It's in your studio for free that you can use thumbnail testing. And basically everybody has that, okay? Even a brand new channel that you set up today will have thumbnail testing. Now, they've just announced that they're going to add title testing, and some people have this. I have this currently where I can do a thumbnail and a title pairing, and I can do that 3 times. This is massive because if you have a video, for example, this video right here where I'm talking about YouTube updates, I could do this from 3 different angles, right? I could make an angle of the thumbnail and title that's talking specifically about shorts updates. I could make the thumbnail and title that's talking specifically about the AI Studio updates. I could make a thumbnail and title combination that talks specifically about live streaming or podcasts. And so using those 3 different areas, it's going to be targeting 3 different audience members essentially. And so then I can see what percentage of my audience likes what thing, and I can kind of cater towards that for the future, right? And it's not set to where you can only do one of these tests. You can do multiple of these tests, right? And how it kind of determines this is by watch time, which is the main analytic that YouTube is looking for whenever they want your video to succeed. If you can put out a 3-hour video and people are watching the entire 3-hour video, that video is going to be sent to so many people on YouTube because that is an incredible feat, right? If you put out a 15-minute video and they only watch 2 minutes of it, your video is immediately going to get shut down in the algorithm, and they're not going to want to send it out to more people because their goal is to keep people on YouTube as long as possible. So that is really the idea here, right? You want to have the highest watch share percentage, and that will help you do that if you have title and A/B testing to have 3 different packages for 3 different angles into your video, which I think is really cool. Now, not a lot of people have this one yet, collaborations. This is a pretty big deal. How this works is that you can collaborate just like you do like on Instagram or some other places. You can collaborate with up to 5 other channels. And so let's say you have this idea to do this big like showcase with the people in your niche, right? For example, in my niche, I talk a lot about biblical media and The Chosen and shows like that, right? So what if I took everybody that talks about those shows in my niche and we did a big showcase? Maybe even The Chosen becomes a part of that and they become a collaborator, right? I could collaborate with The Chosen and 4 other creators, and then we could do some sort of big showcase. And then what happens is my video now gets sent out not only to my audience and people that YouTube thinks would like me, but also all of these other audiences as well. And it's interesting because the revenue does not split between those 5 other creators. Essentially, basically it just goes to the one person that created the video in the first place and whose channel it lives on. These collaborations also, like, the video doesn't show up on The Chosen's channel, for example. If I were to do that, it would only show up on my channel, but it would show The Chosen as a collaborator, that they were a part of what this video is. So pretty cool stuff there. I like that. I like the idea of collaborations. And since it's a YouTube feature, I hope that it would work properly. The only thing I would worry about is if you try to do a collaboration with a channel that doesn't share your same audience at all, it could really hurt. Like if random people start subscribing to your channel that aren't your audience, I think it could hurt the future of like what you're doing there, or like who you're serving, right? Audience is really. After collaborations, we have auto dubbing with lip sync. This is really interesting. So I'll show you on my channel. Right now, I have auto dubbing turned on my channel. And so here's what that looks like. This is me in French.
Le tournage de la saison 6 de The Chosen est presque terminé et il y a des choses vraiment intéressantes qu'ils abordent maintenant. On voit beaucoup de choses qui se passent directement.
So you can see that it's a male voice that's speaking in French. Before, when I first started this, for some of the voices, it's like randomly a female. Now, this doesn't sound like me pretty much at all, but at least it's in French, and there are plenty of people within my community that actually really like this. There's people that are in Italy or in France, and they really are appreciative because now not only can they watch in English like they normally do, but they could send it to a family member who only speaks French, or they can send it to a family member who only speaks Portuguese. And so on this right now, I'll kind of show you. If I zoom down a little bit, you guys can see I've got 10 different languages on here, 10 different audio tracks. So I've got English, French, German, Hindi, Indonesian, Italian, Japanese, Polish, Portuguese, and Spanish US. And so those are the ones that I have currently for my channel. However, you can see, just like when I played it before, when I'm speaking French, yeah, it's a male voice, doesn't really sound like me, but also it doesn't match my lips, right? So I'm not actually speaking that language, so it looks like I'm speaking English, but sounds like I'm speaking French. So here is really what's interesting about this new feature here. Colin and Smear kind of showed this here.
I don't speak Portuguese. Mas o YouTube adicionou dublagem automática com sincronia labial. So, what you're watching right now is not only the words coming out of my mouth
que saem da minha boca sendo traduzidas, mas também meus lábios sendo reanimados para fazer parecer que...
So you can see they're using probably some AI model, right, to auto dub your lips as well. This is really impressive. And I think there are some use cases where this is going to be amazing. Have you ever like wanted to watch a video, but then you start watching it and the guy's speaking in Russian, right? Imagine those videos basically have no bearing anymore. Like it doesn't matter. You might even watch a creator that you see is auto dubbed, but you don't even know what their original language is, because eventually in a year or 2 years, this is going to be so good that you're not going to know what their original language was, right? You're just going to hear it in your own language. You're going to see them speaking your language as well. Not that there's not going to be problems with this. Of course, there's going to be problems. There's going to be, different things that they're solving over time. But eventually, 2 or 3 years from now, it's going to be so good that you're going to be able to watch creators from Korea or Russia or China or wherever else and see them as they meant for themselves to be seen, right? That includes my stuff. I'm really excited for this because my audience is primarily, of course, English speaking, but the Chosen audience and the biblical media audience is worldwide. Specifically, the Chosen audience, there is a massive Portuguese speaking population in Brazil and some of these other places that would love my videos. I know they would love my videos. However, they could never watch them because they're all in English, right? And so I really love that. I'm looking forward to that for sure. I think that'll be really cool. Next is the likeness detection. This is really interesting, especially for fraud prevention. Okay, so likeness detection. What this means is if someone creates an AI video of me and posts it somewhere random on the internet or on YouTube specifically, obviously, if they just make a short or a long form video using my face, then there's a AI detection that will detect my face and I'll be able to report it and get it taken down, essentially. This will help a lot for unauthorized videos, for videos that could be like selling something super scammy that I don't want to be selling. We've seen this quite a lot, actually. I'm surprised it hasn't happened with our channel yet, but we've seen this a lot with other channels, bigger channels and smaller channels all throughout YouTube, that people their faces have been stolen, their likenesses have been stolen, their voices have been stolen, and used for nefarious purposes. And so, yeah, super interesting here. I was really glad to see this likeness detection here as well. All right. Moving on, let's go to live streaming. Live streaming is really interesting. You'll notice there's something here, which we'll talk about at the end of this live streaming section, that is very key to how YouTube sees this kind of stuff to begin with. First of all, helping you get started. This is kind of meh for me. This is a way to practice going live. So you can do like a practice session on your phone or whatever, where you can see, fake chat messages or fake donations come in, and you can practice how things look on the live stream. This is kind of cool. I get it if you're like nervous going into your first stream, but once you start streaming, like I live stream quite a lot. So once you start streaming, like you're just going to get used to it. You'll be fine, but I get that people are nervous before they get going. So maybe that'll help people with some anxiety. So I get that there. The next thing here is playables. So this is a way in order for you to choose like a YouTube game for you to play on stream. Absolutely nobody's doing this. We can move on from there. Prioritizing discoverability is huge here. So basically what they're saying is that they are going to include a vertical version of your live stream that you can pair with your horizontal version. This is really cool because it's going to bring a new audience to your live stream. If you have a horizontal live stream, generally you're building a community that knows when you go live and you build that up, right? But a vertical video is just in the shorts feed. Have you ever, been scrolling through the shorts feed and then you hit a live stream, right? That's exactly what's going to happen, except this is going to be on a much larger scale because it's going to include all of the horizontal people. It's not that you have to make a vertical live stream if you're a horizontal live streamer, but this is going to be huge for discovery because people will find your vertical live stream in the shorts feed and then they will hop over to your horizontal live stream, which is connected to your channel. So this is going to be really interesting. I don't know if this makes two separate live streams or if the vertical live stream is just a portal to get to your horizontal live stream. There's a lot of questions that I would have there. I am super excited for this one because I think just the future of this is going to be really, really cool to see. So yeah, really excited about that for sure. Next up, we've got React Live. So this one applicable in my situation as well. Let's say that The Chosen goes live for their live streams that they normally do. Then I could potentially go live and react to the live stream that they're showing us as it's going. This would be quite interesting. I wonder how it goes with like copyright and some different things that go along with that. Like if someone didn't want you to stream the live stream and react to it, could they shut that down to make it so there's no reacting allowed? I'm not 100% sure, but it would be interesting to see how that all goes. Absolutely. So, and then this one's really interesting for live streams as well, and for podcasts, I think too. There's AI powered highlights. And so I think this is going to be spread obviously to almost all horizontal videos, almost all long form videos in the future. AI powered highlights where YouTube will scan your video and then they'll pick out the best points, right? If you've ever used Opus Clip, I think this is going to be YouTube's version of Opus Clip, but this is going to be even more interesting because YouTube can look at the data in that video and say, through the data, this shows me that this is the most important part of the video. Then AI will scrub that part and make the best short possible from that section. So it'll be a lot better than something like Opus Clip or some of these other third-party sites that build these shorts for you. This is going to be a way, way better way of doing that. So that's really, really cool there. Now, let's jump into let's see. Do I want to do monetization right now? Let's jump into podcasts first, and then we'll jump back into monetization. So super interesting there. Some stuff that I missed for the live streaming section, really quick. So side-by-side ads are going to be implemented into streaming. I guess that's what they're talking about here. So side-by-side ads right here are going to be implemented into streaming. So your stream won't stop, but an ad will be it'll push over your stream and allow an ad to show, and then your stream will come back on. This is not horrible. This will definitely increase ad revenue for live streamers, which is cool. I like that. However, I think YouTube is probably going to force this upon pretty much everybody. For a long time, they've had ads in the live streams that you could disable if you wanted to, or not enable them. I think YouTube is most likely going to start forcing this upon live streamers for the most part, right? It's going to become the default setting at the very least, where you're going to have this kind of coming in. Now, I do like that it's not interrupting the stream as much. I really hope that these ads don't have like loud music or any, like, if there's no sound at all, that would be great. If you could have a visual ad that pops in while your stream is still going, I think that would be the best thing for sure. But most likely it's going to be like it is on some other sites where the ad will pop in, it'll interrupt the stream with music and stuff. The stream will go silent, and then the stream will come back after the ad is over. I'm on the fence about this one, because on one hand, it's great for advertising in a live stream, which you don't really get unless it's turned on currently. And then also it's annoying for the stream, right? People are going to miss certain parts of the stream and things like that, but it is what it is, right? We'll kind of see what that turns into in the future and see how that goes as well. Then here as well, beyond ads, we're giving more ways to offer value to creators. This is like bits if you're on Twitch. This is like a way to donate during the stream, specifically for vertical live streams only at the moment, I think. But they can give like hearts, and it's like TikTok streaming as well, very similar to that. So anyway, let's move on to podcasts here. And last thing, sorry, I missed this one last thing. Last thing on live streaming, you can also do now you can do a stream that goes from a public stream into a members only stream. So let's say hypothetically you were doing a live stream and then you wanted to do like an hour of public live streaming and then an hour of members only live streaming. You could do that now, which is really interesting because it could give you a new way to monetize, even if you don't have like a ton of followers. This would really incentivize people to do a members only section of that. And I will probably almost certainly take advantage of this as well. I think this is really, really interesting for me personally. And it'll allow me to do exclusive content on my Patreon as well as on my YouTube memberships, which I really, really like. So I think I'll definitely take advantage of that at some point as well. So, all right, moving on, we got podcasting stuff. And so let's listen to this.
For podcasters, shorter content provides a big boost to reach because viewers are way more likely to click on a shorter video than a full episode.
Which is why it's great that now we have this tool that makes it easier than ever to clip the parts that are really amazing.
So this is a new tool. It's essentially Descript, but it's in the YouTube editor. And so Descript, if you don't know, basically puts out your video transcript, and then you can edit the video based on what words you want to be said. Okay, so you highlight the words that you want, then you edit that section out to be like a highlight, right? This won't create short videos. Well, it can create short videos, but they're talking about here creating a clip from this to save it as a separate video that you can put out as a clip. On this channel, I guarantee you we'll start doing this as well. As we have our long form podcasts, we'll also have these clips that will show up as like 5 to 10 minute small clips of our conversation in order to show you guys, hey, this is what the podcast is about. Here's a little bit more digestible kind of bit of it rather than you just getting into a full hour and a half, 2 hour conversation, right? That makes a lot of sense for me there.
As opposed to the ones that are just regular amazing. And soon you'll be able to use this to make shorts too, customized for the format, which is essential if you're trying to expand your reach.
All right, we'll get to this section in a bit. Also on podcasts here, we've got audio-only podcasts being converted into video podcasts, again, using VO3 and some of the AI stuff that Google has behind the scenes. This is interesting, although I don't love it. It'd be kind of weird, but basically the idea is that AI will take the prompting of whatever you're talking about within the video and turn that into a video podcast instead of just an audio only podcast. Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know, until it gets really, really, really great, which I think we're probably 4 or 5 years away from in that sense. It's going to feel soulless in a lot of ways. And yeah, it's going to feel weird. I would rather just have a normal video podcast for sure. All right, next, yeah, short suggestions from the full podcast, and then YouTube music, countdowns, pre-saves, merch, and integration, plus fan rewards for music specifically. So there's a bunch of different stuff for music that they're going to be adding that they didn't really talk about really anywhere else. So you're going to see things like countdowns. So if you're releasing a new album, you'll have a countdown for that. Pre-saves, which is like, you know, Spotify and different people do pre-saves like that, where you can have that ready to go so that whenever your music goes live, people already have it in their library. Merch integration, that's going to be really interesting as well. There's some shopping integration within YouTube right now, but I wonder what that merch integration is going to look like for music specifically. And then fan rewards. This is, I'm assuming, kind of like membership, or people that buy, they get extra things. That would be kind of interesting. So we'll keep an eye on the music stuff for that. But yeah, let's continue on. Let's talk about monetization when it comes to YouTube and shopping. This is something I don't use quite often, but here is what it's about.
In order to earn money from YouTube shopping, I need to manually tag products that I feature in my videos at the exact moment I show them.
Yeah, this is super annoying. I don't do tags for shopping, like random items that I'm not doing makeup tutorials, or like there's not like a Bible that I want you to buy, for example, in my case. I would probably use this for my own merch or things like that. And it is annoying when you have to put in every single thing manually. It is annoying.
That's where AI can help, with new features like auto tagging and timestamps. Now all I have to do is opt in, and YouTube uses AI to identify and apply the best times to display the tags I've added. Another area that's not only important to me as a small business owner, but for all creators, is brand deals. One of the ways they're doing this is with a new feature that lets creators add a link to brands' websites directly in their shorts.
Yeah, so this wasn't a thing before. Now what you can do, let's say you have a brand deal with Walmart, right? You're working with Walmart on a release that you've just come out with a product, right? And you want to link to the product on Walmart's website. Now you'll be able to have a link that is specifically in your short that will link directly to whoever you're working with. This is pretty cool for brand deals because it allows shorts to be more powerful. Even for maybe a smaller creator that's not really into shorts, you could even add this as an extra piece of your brand deal, which I think could really, really work in your favor when doing negotiations and things like that. So think about what brands you would want to work with and how this could work for them. I think it's a really cool way to help to increase the monetization of shorts in particular, because it's hard to monetize shorts, right? Ads don't really play on shorts very much. The CPM, RPM on shorts is horrible. This is a great way to increase that here.
YouTube is also working on a way for creators to dynamically insert brand segments into long-form videos, so you can swap them in and out later. I'll be able to update, remonetize those segments, or even sell sponsored segments in different countries to different brands.
That is huge. So if you didn't catch what she said there, first off, it's dynamic brand deals. So you'll be able to essentially say to a brand, like, this is, as a creator, this is a pretty big deal, because if I can talk to a sponsor and say, hey, you know, I will, here's my packages that I'm going to, offer to you. Number one, you get to be in my video for 1 month, and this is the amount that you'll pay. Number two, you get to be in my video for 6 months, and here's how much you pay. Number three, you get to be in my video for 1 year, and this is how much you pay. Or four, you get to be in my video forever, but it's going to be a little bit more expensive, right? And so if they want that evergreen video that's going to get out there forever and ever and ever, they're going to have to pay more for that now, because I can take them out of the video at any time. And this is a pretty big deal, because not only can you take someone out of a video, but you can also put someone new in. And if you didn't catch what she said, she also talked about localization. So if there is a UK brand that is very interested in your UK only audience, then you could work with that brand only in the UK. you could localize it to that location. And then in the US, you could have a different brand. So on one video, you could theoretically have 100 different brands for 100 different localized areas, right? And think about that on top of the auto dubbing and the lip sync and all that kind of stuff, right? The people that are on YouTube right now that are building their libraries are going to have a global brand. You will have a global brand like way sooner than you thought that you would, or in a bigger way than you thought that you ever would. This is going to be really, really interesting. And it means that brands in France or in Russia or in Australia or wherever else in the world, right? All of these brands can then work with me because they'll be willing to get at least the impressions from their area of the world, right? Which could be really, really interesting. So lots to see on this in the future. Absolutely. For sure. So, all right, what are your thoughts on the updates? What are your most impressive ones that you see? What are the ones that you're going to use for your channel? I'd love to hear it, because me, as an everyday working creator, I've been full-time for about 3 years. I see a lot of these things and I think, okay, that's going to be good. And I see some of the other ones like the AI short stuff and I'm like, not really loving that. Like, I'm not really hyped for the future of the AI slop generation. So I don't know. We'll see about that. But there's definitely some that I think are going to help on my day-to-day just working and doing what I do. Really, really excited for the future of this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And thanks for checking out GodMade. GodMadeCreators.com down in the description down below. We'd love to work with you. And if you want one-on-one coaching, all that kind of stuff, we offer that as well. So yeah, you guys have a great one. We'll see you.